have not seen a better high school basketball game this year, or maybe for a couple years. The intensity level was a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, they're coached well with Coach Ackley. Again, you said it. They're an undefeated team for a reason. They've won a lot of close ones. They've blown a lot of teams out. It was a big game, and like you said, it was probably the biggest game up to this point in the FAC this year. They only had one loss, or we only had one loss, and that was to Miami Trace earlier in the season at home. We tried to avenge it. Our guys did very, very good. They played hard. Like I said, I couldn't be more happy. We had a lot of toughness. They're a tough matchup problem for us with all their size. Their 3-2 zone is one of the best around, and we gave ourselves a chance to win in the fourth, and we just came up a little short.
Did it feel like to you, and I've even talked with some people about this, it felt like we worked our tail off to score buckets, and then they could answer them a little easier, but my gosh, I can't imagine the 6 players that played for the Jackson Ironmen on Saturday could play much harder.
No, I will never question those 6 guys that got in the game. We kind of shortened the rotation a little bit, and so did Miami Trace. They only went 7 deep and really basically 6, and a 7th man got a few seconds. So it was a short bench for both teams. It was going to be a tough game. Both teams play with great toughness, energy, effort. And you're right. We had to work really hard for what we got. We grinded out 41 points through a 4-quarter game, and they were able to hit one, right at the buzzer to beat us by 2. But you cannot question our heart and desire or intensity that we played with. Nothing was easy. They're one of the best defensive teams around. They're a tough matchup, when you're playing defense on them. But our guys did a great job of switching up defenses, jumping in and out of things, jumping in a zone that we usually don't play, jumping in man, and really did a great job on Mr. Guthrie down there inside. So, he didn't beat us, but their team, obviously did.
Before we talk a little bit about Zane Trace, the ball game tonight here at Jackson, go over a little bit what is so important this week, and it is the RPI rating for teams in our district. We are now sitting at the number 2 spot, which would be a great way. I don't think we can catch Megs, but it'd be great to stay at the number 2 spot. But it's such a new system that so many people, I don't think, really understand it.
Yeah, obviously this year is completely new with the 7 divisions. Last year we used RPI, but now we're incorporating in our seven divisions now. So the RPI goes against your obviously your win percentage matters, your opponent win percentage, and then your opponent's win percentage. So it kind of factors all 3 of them in with your strength of schedule being, can your opponents go win games outside of you? Can you beat teams with winning records? And right now we're sitting in a really good spot. We got the number 2 seed in Division 4. Right now the 1 and 2 seeds would get a bye the first round of the tournament, with all the lower seeds 3, 4, 5, and so on getting a home game all the way through 14 with the higher seed going on the road that first round. All the next round will be played at Southeastern, and then the following would be a district championship at the Convo, and we actually get 2 teams that get to represent the Southeast District into the regional semifinals. So, obviously it's an exciting time. The one and done season is vastly approaching, but we got a lot of work left to do, and obviously a couple more weeks left in this regular season.
Well, tonight's opponent, Zane Trace, what makes what your explanation just told us a very important game is that Zane Trace comes into tonight's game with a 15-3 overall record.
Yeah, obviously this would be a big, as far as percentage points in your RPI, this one really can matter for us. They're 15-3. They're a very well-coached team. They're a good team. Obviously, their record says a lot of that. Tyler Cassidy, a first-year coach at Zane Trace, he's coached prior to that at Circleville. Know him very well. He's doing a great job there in his first year. And they're a senior-laden group. Their senior, marksman, their point guard, kind of who runs the show for him, Landon Jarrell, who was hurt last year when we played him, and we didn't get to see him, but he's a very good player. They follow that up with their big post inside presence with Gunnar McCullough and another shooter on the outside with Grady Stewart. So with those 3 names and obviously everybody else, they have about a 7-man rotation. We just got to know where those guys are, but those 3 are their main scorers. It's not going to be easy. Obviously, our crowd tonight is great as usual, but we just got to know where the shooters are. We can't let McCullough kill us inside and give ourselves a shot in the end.
No question about that. And one of the things I think is kind of interesting is we're talking about the end of the season coming, even though we have 5 more games still to play. The next 2 are so critical for us. Zane Trace tonight, and then at Washington Courthouse on Friday night. But I've always heard in your regular season, you have to have some grinded out either wins and losses to be tournament ready. My gosh, with our 1 and 2 point wins and losses this year, our schedule has, it's provided us to be tournament ready.
Our schedule is one of the toughest around. Our AD, Mr. Massey, wanted a tough schedule for us. I think, if you put our schedule up against anybody in our district, I think if you just look at the RPI, it's one of the best. So it definitely helps us. It's preparing our guys. They're able to grind out plays. They understand that, hey, it's peaks and valleys. We're going to have moments where we're not playing great basketball, and we're going to have moments where we're playing really good basketball. So, it's an up and down season. Obviously, our guys have been able to grind out 13 big wins, and every one of them hasn't been easy. But, and we got 4 losses, 2 of which to Miami Trace, undefeated team, 1 against to Meggs, who's the number 1 rated team in the district with only 1 loss. And then at Wheelersburg, and everybody knows how good and athletic they are at their home court. So our guys are definitely tournament tested. They're ready to go. But every game from here on out is going to matter, but especially this week because the tournament will cut off Friday night at midnight. So obviously the game this evening and then the game, in a few days from now at Courthouse will be big for your district tournament RPI rating.
Well, Zane Trace tonight comes to town. You've talked about their personnel. What kind of game do you expect to see as far as how it'll be played?
They're going to show us a multiple look on defense. They're going to go to a 2-3. They really have some good length with a couple 6'3", 6'2" guys with long arms. They like to extend that zone. We've seen that all year, so we kind of understand it. We put in a couple new quick hitters this week to make sure we're ready for it, to get a couple shots easier for us. And they're going to play man, and when they play man, they really get out and deny passing lanes the next pass, so we got to be willing to get open and not make the ball stick. But with that being said, when guys are out denying, there's going to be bigger gaps to drive, and that's what we want to do, spread you out, dribble, drive offense, and control the tempo. If we do that, don't let them get out and run in transition, limit number 0 and number 3, their open three-point looks. We have a great shot and give ourselves a chance to win.
Should be an exciting night tonight here at Jackson High School. Zane Trace coming to town to take on our 13-4 Jackson Ironmen, trying to get that 14th win. Coach, best of luck. We'll talk to you in the postgame.
Thank you. We'll see you then.
Stay tuned for more pregame activities with the best stat man this side of the Mississippi, Mr. Pete Wilson, and myself, Dan Morrow.
Your home for Ironmen basketball. Mix 96 FM.
Well, we are back here at Jackson High School Gymnasium, and as the pregame show just said, we are getting to host a very strong Zane Trace basketball team tonight. Coach Morrow, I thought, did a good job of explaining the importance of this game, Pete, as far as the district tournament goes and the seeding that is going to entail.
Absolutely, and when they talked about Zane Trace's record, some of the stats that are showing up on their team page there where you can see the RPI, very, very solid team. Not just some good individual players, but a good overall scoring balance. They have 15.4 assists per game, 8.8 steals. They only make 8.6 turnovers. So those stats indicate a very solid team. No wonder they're 15-3.
No question about it. We are going to take one more timeout for the Star Spangled Banner. Then we will be back with the starting lineups of tonight's game between your Jackson Ironmen and Zane Trace here in just a moment.
The Jackson County Health Department's Tobacco and Vape Prevention is an ongoing program providing help to both youth and adults in their efforts to quit smoking or vaping. Nicotine is addictive and is not only in tobacco products but also vaping products. Let the Jackson County Health Department's Tobacco and Vape Prevention Program help you in your journey. They have the tools to help you reach your goal of being nicotine-free. Call them today at 740-286-5094, extension 2839, and good luck to all of our area teams this sports season.
Brian Moore Construction specializes in turnkey construction, room additions, kitchen and bathroom remodels, as well as residential and commercial roofing. They also do silicone and acrylic roof coverings. Brian Moore Construction delivers quality craftsmanship on time, on budget, and according to specifications. Choose Brian Moore Construction for your next build, remodel, or roofing project. Call today for a free estimate. 740-418-6140.
Home, it's your sanctuary. It's pajamas at noon and cookies in the oven. It's fingerprints on the wall and heights measured in a doorway. It's the one place in the world that you know better than anyone else. Vinton County National Bank wants to help you build that messy, wonderful, cherished place where you can live a life you love for years to come. That's our promise. VCNB, here for you now, here for your future. Visit vcnbfamily.bank for our construction special. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Insurance may be the last thing on your mind, and that's okay because it's the first thing on ours every day. Let's be frank, whether we're talking about your home, vehicles, business, or life, the unexpected may happen. The bright side is you can depend on Schured Falks Insurance and Frankenmuth Insurance to provide the peace of mind you need. At Schured Falks Insurance, we believe the best relationships are honest, upfront, and fair. If you want to get frank about insurance, let's talk. Call Schured Falks Insurance today at 740-286-1708 or visit us on the web at SchuredInsurance.com. Go Ironman.
Your home for Ironmen basketball. Mix 96 FM.
Pete Wilson, the Star Spangled Banner just sang by a Jackson a cappella group, and wow, were they good. You're a crooner from the years past. Jackson Thespian of the Year in 1973. We all remember that so very well, but you had to appreciate their efforts. That was beautiful.
I absolutely do, but we have to be transparent here. I was in a musical, and they took my song out of the production.
Oh, well, I do remember it well, though, in Oklahoma.
But
you were a star.
Don't tell anybody that.
You were a star. But a wonderful job on the Star Spangled Banner. Starting lineups tonight for, first of all, Zane Trace, Landon Jarrell, who is their outstanding guard. He did not play last year against the Ironmen. He was injured, has been injured off and on this year, but when he has played, he's been truly outstanding. Grady Stewart, 6'3", junior forward also. They have a bunch of 6'2", 6'3" guys, a little bit like our Jackson Ironmen. Ezra Rippeth, a 5', 10" senior guard. Landon Robinson, a 6', 2" guard, and Gunnar McLaughlin, who played very well against our Ironmen last year. He is a 6', 2" junior. Jackson Ironman starting lineup is being announced. The lights are out here at the Jackson High School Gymnasium. They will put the spotlight on them. Good crowd on hand for a Tuesday night home basketball game. They got a nice thing playing up on the big screen here before they announce the starting lineups. Me no secret who your starting lineups are tonight. Senior Garrett Legg usually is the first announced as the starters. Boy, that is neat the way they have that playing up there, Pete Wilson, the players and some of their highlights playing up on the big screen before they announce the starters.
Oh, nice touch, yes.
Very nice touch there. I'm catching myself watching that. Matt McKee now is going to announce who the starters are. We've already mentioned senior Garrett Legg, junior Stephen Jenkins, junior Ryan Simets, junior Charlie Woodard, and finally junior Bodie Wooford, the 5 starters for the Ironmen. You can listen to the crowd hearing it as our starters are announced. The starters have a small basketball that they're going to throw into the crowd. Looks like they're giving it to some of our younger fans here. Charlie Woodard being announced. There's Ryan Simets. And finally, junior Bodie Wooford. Starters have been announced. 13-4 Jackson Ironmen here on their home court, taking on the 15-3 Zane Trace. Pioneers, first-year coach Tyler Cassidy, 10th-year coach here for Jackson, Coach Max Morrow. FYI, Max Morrow been a little bit under the weather. CJ Crabtree is sick tonight, not with us. hurts the depth of the Jackson basketball team. Center jump circle, the ball is tipped and controlled by our Ironman into the hands of Ryan Simetz. He'll bring it across midcourt. Looks like the Pioneers will open up in a man-to-man defense. Ryan goes down on the left corner, back to Bodie Wooford. Bodie at the foul line, back to Steven Jenkins. Steven drives it down in the left corner, kicks it back out top to Bodie. Bodie on the right side here gets a nice pass along to a backdoor cutting Charlie Woodard, who lays it up and in the Ironmen draw first blood. 2-0 Jackson. There is Landon Jarrell. He runs the show for them. They get it inside to Gunnar McCullough. They force him to kick it back out. There is Stewart on the right wing. Stewart trying to drive the baseline. Nicely stopped there by Charlie Woodard. They'll get it back out to Landon Robinson. A lot of 6'2 players on the floor tonight, Pete Wilson. That is kind of the 6'2", 6'3 is the height range for both Jackson and Zane Trace.
Long and lanky they look like.
Yes. Back to Jarrell here right in front of us on the left wing. Picked up by Steven Jenkins. Jarrell kicks it over here to Landon Robinson. There's a deflection, a steal. Here comes Ryan Simetz into the lane, and he is fouled. Let's see if they give him a shooting foul. I don't think they're going to give him the two shots, but it should be Jackson basketball out on our baseline. Jackson will take it out underneath. Simetz will trigger it in for the Ironmen. Throws it into Bodie Wooford. Now back over to Charlie Woodard. Back to Ryan. Ryan takes a look. Ball knocked out of his hands, but he controls it. Charlie Woodard was kind of sick against Miami Trace. Says he's feeling better. There is Bodie, and they're going to call Bodie with the offensive foul, and those are always painful. Bodie gets a couple of those just because of his aggressive nature with the basketball. Thought it was a touch of a flop, but I'm not the referee.
There was contact, and I think it was a flop, and I guess that gives credit to the ZT player because he got the call.
Landon Jarrell will bring the ball across midcourt, get it over to Stewart. Now in the corner to Rippeth. They kick it back out top to Stewart, and they will bring it over here to Jarrell. Jarrell picked up by Garrett Legg. Tries to get it inside. They do to McCullough. McCullough inside in the post, and I think he steps on the baseline, trying to do an underneath reverse type shot. Foot steps out of bounds. It'll be Jackson basketball. I remember McCullough last year at Zane Trace, Pete. He is a fine player, and he's scored a lot of points against the Ironmen.
I believe he's averaging 13.4 to lead well-balanced Zane Trace offense.
Bodie with the ball here on the right wing. They get it. Oh, nice throw. Tries to go high-low from Garrett Legg to Charlie Woodard. The pass over the outstretched hands of Charlie goes out of bounds. Ironmen turn it over. Will be Zane Trace basketball. Landon Jarrell, scouting report that we have the luxury to get a read. Coach Morrow feels he is absolutely their best player, along with McCullough. He kicks it across over here to Stewart. Stewart's a very good shooter at 6'3". Jarrell's long three-point attempt is good, top of the key, and they jump out. Coach Morrow saying we got to be on him. You can put pressure on him. You can't give him open looks. It is 3-2. Zane Trace with the lead.
Saw one of his good qualities. He's short, but he gets the ball out of his hands really quick.
Very quick release. Bodie with the ball on the left wing. Out top to Ryan Simetz. Back to Bodie. We're still on the left side in front of Zane Trace bench. Now it's back to Simetz. Turn it over to this side. Steven Jenkins on the right corner. He dribbles to the foul line, down the lane. His shot's up and good. Nice drive by Steven Jenkins. Gets the shot to go in. Ironmen regain the lead at 4-3. Stewart with the basketball for Zane Trace. Back to Rippeth. Now you got Jarrell. They turn it back to Stewart. Stewart's a long, lanky player. Prefers to play facing the basket. Their post player is Gunnar McGowan. I love that first name, Gunnar. There's Stewart with a long three. His shot is no good. Long rebound comes to the hands of Stephen Jenkins. Jenkins will bring it up across midcourt. Jump shot from about 15 feet. Long rebound is going to be no good. And I think Garrett Lake's going to get called for going over the back. Let's see if that's, no, is it going to go against Zane Trace? Might have been. The foul is actually going to go against Gunnar McCullough. I think possibly an illegal screen out against Garrett Lake. Jackson with the basketball. Throw it out top. Garrett catches it. Now back to Wooford. Wooford right at the top of the key. Back to Stephen Jenkins. Stephen tries to split two defenders in the lane. His fall away off the front of the rim. No good. Rebound comes down to Landon Jarrell. Jarrell quickly gets it to Rippeth. Rippeth in the lane. And there's a kick by the Ironman. It'll be Zane Trace basketball underneath their basket. 4-3 is your score. We're at the midway point through the first quarter of tonight's contest. Two teams with very good records. 15-3. There's McCullough in the lane. His shot's up. No good. Garrett Lake with the rebound. Quickly to Simets. Ryan pushes it to the top of the key. Now down the lane. Gets it to Bodie Wooford. Ball knocked out of his hands and out of bounds. It will be Jackson basketball on the baseline. The Ironmen pushing the tempo there a little bit. First substitution of the game. And we'll see it's number 11 coming in, Judah Hanks. He is a 5'10" senior guard. Charlie Woodard back to Wooford. He's outside of the circle, out of the three-point line. Goes down in the lane. Now back to Charlie up top. Stephen Jenkins here on the right wing. Simets turns it over to Garrett Legg. They post up Charlie. Charlie's in the lane. His fall away is up off the front of the rim. No good. Garrett Legg keeps it alive. Charlie chases it down. Ironman get another look. Stephen Jenkins, long three attempt. No good. Simets saves it, but into the hands of Robinson for Zane Trace. Back to Houston and his three-pointer. Noah Houston comes off the bench and buries a three and gives Zane Trace a 6-4 lead. 2:24 to go here in the first quarter. Bodie Wooford with the basketball. Down the lane, and let's see what they call. That's going to be another charge on Bodie Wooford. Two quick fouls, both of the offensive variety. Jax Carroll coming on the floor, and he'll quickly replace Bodie Wooford. Couple substitutions on the floor for Zane Trace also. Jarrell will be back in the game. Landon Jarrell, the senior. Seniors and juniors on this Zane Trace squad. There's number 4, Noah Houston. He hit the three. Back to Jarrell. He's guarded up top. Here's Stewart. Stewart wanted to put it on the floor. They pick him up. Judah Hanks. Back to Jarrell. He thinks about a long three, but Garrett Legg is up on him. Now you've got the ball in Robinson's hands. Back to Jarrell. Long three attempt. Halfway in and out. No good. Off the hands of Zane Trace. Goes out of bounds. It'll be Jackson basketball. 1:39 to go first quarter.
So far, the Ironmen playing good man-to-man defense, getting Zane Trace to take perimeter shots. The doggone thing is they've made 2 of those three-pointers. And they just missed that one. That one rolled in and out.
The Ironmen just can't seem to get things going really strong offensively. Charlie back to Jax Carroll. Gets a nice pick and roll to Charlie Woodard. He goes up in the lane. No good. Shot off the front of the rim. And knocked out of bounds. It'll be Zane Trace basketball. It seems like Ironmen have hit the front of the rim now about 4 or 5 times here in this first quarter. Shots not falling for him yet. Gunnar McCollum back on the floor.
Ironmen on the shot chart, looks like their shots are better. They're just not going in.
So right.
But they are getting contested, though.
Landon with the Jarrell with the basketball. Turns it over to Stewart. Back to Jarrell. Nice pass inside to McCullough, and the shot goes up, but he is fouled against Stephen Jenkins. Will get the foul called. And McCullough will be at the foul line with 2 free throws coming. Gunnar McCullough, 6'2" junior forward. First free throw is good. 7-4. Zane Trace with the lead. Number 5, Ezra Rippeth back on the floor for Zane Trace. He'll replace Landon Robinson. McCullough gets one more free throw. It's up and good. 8-4. They've doubled the score on Jackson. We're at the 1 minute mark here in the first quarter. See if the Ironmen can get something going offensively. Ryan Simetz over on the right wing to Steven Jenkins. Down in the corner to Simetz. He drives the baseline, kicks it in the corner to Jax Carroll, kicks it out to Charlie Woodard. His free three-pointer is off the rim. No good. Here comes Zane Trace. Stewart here on the left wing. Thinks about a 3. He does take the long jump shot. No good. Rebound there by Jarrell, and it goes up and in. Offensive board by Landon Jarrell, and it's 10-4. Zane Trace with the lead. 25 seconds to go. Nice pass. Good backdoor cut by Charlie Woodard. Simetz sees him, hits him, lays it in, and he is fouled. Ironman needed a bucket badly. Charlie gets the shot to go in, and he'll get a free throw. "20 seconds to go in this first quarter. 10-6. Zane Trace with the lead. Landon Robinson back in the game for Zane Trace. Charlie Woodard will get one free throw. Free throw is up and good. 10-7. 20 seconds to go. Zane Trace with the basketball. Probably going to play for a last shot. Landon Jarrell will walk it across midcourt. He's picked up by Ryan Simetz. Get it over to McCullough. Back to Robinson. Robinson with a nice backdoor cut in there, and they lay it up and in. They've been picking the Jackson defense apart there. That bucket will be the last bucket of this first quarter. It is after 1 quarter. Zane Trace 12, our Jackson Ironmen 7. Jackson Ironmen basketball on 96.7 will be back with second quarter action in just 1 minute.
Paisley Permanent Cosmetics is an upscale, modern, permanent makeup studio and training center specializing in brows, eyeliner, and lip blush. Whether you're an experienced artist looking to take your skills and business to the next level or someone looking for a career change, we offer training for everyone. Sign up to learn all of Paisley's permanent makeup techniques and business tips. Paisley Permanent Cosmetics is located above Miguel Christian Salon at 117 Burlington Road in Jackson. Message us on Facebook or text 740-418-2024 today.
Good people bring good people.
At Buckeye Construction and Restoration, it's the foundation of our projects and our company. What started in a garage with 2 people and a dream now employs over 100 with offices locally in Wellston, Waterford, and Cincinnati. BCR offers competitive salaries, professional development opportunities, and an employee referral bonus program. Join one of the fastest growing companies in the Midwest by calling 833-775-1595 or visit bcrmco.com to apply. BCR, preserving our history with the hands of craftsmen.
Broadcasting from the Telegram News Studios at the Stockmeister Plaza, Southern Ohio's best music mix is on Mix 96, WKOV-FM, Oak Hill, Jackson, Wellston, and MacArthur.
First quarter in the books. Ironmen find themselves down 12-7. We'll get some stats from Pete Wilson here. First moment we can get. Robinson, long three-point attempt, high off the rim, long rebound, tipped out to Zane Trace. They seem to be getting the balls. Nice job by Jarrell. He drives the baseline. Wow, and another tough call for the Ironman. Makes a nice pass to Gunnar McLaughlin. He misses the shot, gets his own rebound. Then he is fouled. It'll be Zane Trace basketball on their baseline. Pete Wilson, a little bit of a sluggish first quarter for our Ironmen.
Right, Zane Trace 4 of 8 from the field, including 2 3-pointers. Jackson only 3 of 10, and they missed both of those 3-pointers. Zane Trace out-rebounding Jackson, also 5-2. Both teams only 2 turnovers. 4 different players have scored for Zane Trace.
Jackson not playing with quite the intensity they did at Miami Trace. They're going to have to pick it up a little bit. Stewart with the basketball, still outside of the circle. Turns it over to Rippeth. They get it inside to McCullough, and there's another foul. It's going to be called, I'm afraid, it's probably on Jax Carroll. Let's see, it's Jax Carroll or Stephen Jenkins. It'll be Jax Carroll. It's the second team foul for the Ironmen in less than a minute here. Ball will be taken out on the baseline again. Oh, long pass, almost tipped away by Carroll, but it ends up in the hands of Rippeth. Back here to Robinson. Robinson picked up by Simets. McCullough steps out, picks it out top. He is an inside player for him. He's their post presence. There's a deflection. Nice job by Garrett Legg. See if the Ironmen can get something going. Over to Jax Carroll. Jax brings it to the top of the key. Back to Stephen Jenkins. Simets. Still the Ironmen are outside. Man-to-man defense by the Pioneers. Simets setting up the offense, gets it back to Charlie Woodard. Now Jax Carroll, long three attempts up off the rim. Long rebound comes in the hands of Robinson. Bodie Woodford on the bench for the Ironmen with 2 fouls. Picked him up 2 offensive fouls early in the game. Rippeth puts it on the floor, drives into the lane. Pass is deflected out wide, but Zane Trace comes up with the loose ball, and here is Landon Jarrell once again. Out near the top circle. Get it over McCullough. Now Robinson running their man-to-man diva. Wide open in there. Boy, those are ones that Coach Morrow's not going to be happy with. Ezra Rippeth, nice backdoor cut. Able to lay it in, and it's a 14-7 lead for Zane Trace. 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. Pete, numbers that are not pretty yet.
No, the Ironmen, as I said, not shooting well so far, and as we pointed out during the first quarter, not getting bad shots. They're getting contested by Zane Trace, but Jackson getting penetration and getting close to the basket, but just not getting them to go in, and when they are shooting from the outside, they have not hit those either. And what I've also noticed, Dan, you mentioned the intensity. It seems like on those balls that could go either way, loose balls out there, Zane Trace is the one coming up with the ball.
So far. And we've seen Jackson when they have not quite, they have to play at a very high intensity level. When they do, they can play with anybody. When they don't, they don't compete as well against good teams, and we're playing a good team tonight. Jackson with the basketball. Ryan Simets has it, gets it over to Jax Carroll. Stephen Jenkins at the elbow, back to Charlie up top. Carroll now on the wing. Steve Lloyd from Florida has us dialed in, Pete Wilson. Probably are one of our best fans from the state of Florida. Jenkins here on the right wing. Takes a look. Ironman movement just not quite there yet tonight. Simets to Woodard. Now back to Garrett Legg. Kicks it out to Stephen Jenkins. This is good defensive effort by the Pioneers. Garrett Legg takes a thought here on the right wing. Turns it over to Stephen Jenkins. Long three attempt. Grazes the front of the rim, but Jax Carroll with the offensive board and the putback. Another time I can say the Ironmen needed that bucket. 14-9, Jackson down by 5. Jarrell with the basketball. Outside of the circle, long three attempt, long rebound comes down in the hands of Charlie Woodard. Woodard to Simets. See if the Ironmen can get a little momentum. Simets in the lane, turns back, kicks it to Jax Carroll. They turn it over to Jenkins. Jenkins on the left wing. Ryan Simets now to Charlie Woodard. Jenkins. And he's going to get called on a travel. Tried to take it in the lane. The kick out to Carroll. Carroll naturally makes the three, but the travel was called and it takes it away. 14-9, 4:20 to go, first half. Ironman sitting at 9 points. Gunnar McCullough with the basketball, right wing. Coach Morrow has already motioned Bodie Woodford to come back out. He has 2 fouls. He would love to probably hold him till halftime, but I think he needs a little spark here. Turn it around to Rippeth. Long three attempt off the rim, no good, and there's an offensive putback, no good. Garrett Legg comes down with the defensive board. I'm a little bit lucky there. They had a pretty good look. Zane Trace did, it didn't go. Simets, top of the key, takes it down inside. Kicks it back out top to Jax Carroll. Now to Jenkins here on the right wing. Into the lane. Back to Garrett Legg. His long three attempt won't go. Rebound comes down to Robinson. Robinson to Rippeth. For Zane Trace, top of the key, over to Stewart. Long three comes off the rim, but it goes right in the hands of Gunnar McCullough, and he lays it up and in. Ironman getting beat on the boards, and as you said, Pete Wilson, the challenge basketball is one team or the other. They're coming up with them at the moment. 3 minutes to go, first half. Jackson been not able to get the ball much inside against this zone. Charlie Woodard, corner to Stephen Jenkins, long three attempt, no good. Charlie with an offensive rebound, goes up, his shot's off the glass and good. Offensive board by Charlie, the putback gets the Ironman within 5. Charlie has 7 of our 11. Rippeth with his basketball to Stewart. Turn it over to Gerald. Gerald, the point guard, crosses over. There's a steal by Ryan Simetz and a foul on Gerald. First foul of the quarter on Zane Trace. Good job defensively for the Ironmen. Zane Trace, I think, wants a timeout. They do. It's a full timeout. We'll do the very same. So with 2 minutes, 33 seconds to go in the first half, it is your Zane Trace Pioneers 16, your Jackson Ironmen 11. We'll be back. Jackson Ironmen basketball on 96.7.
Need to expand or remodel your building? Increase your inventory or have access to working capital? Let our experienced business loan team help you grow your business. We specialize in business loans. Ohio Valley Bank, a better way to bank. Member FDIC. Visit us online at ovbc.com.
The Jackson County Health Department's Tobacco and Vape Prevention is an ongoing program providing help to both youth and adults in their efforts to quit smoking or vaping. Nicotine is addictive and is not only in tobacco products but also vaping products. Let the Jackson County Health Department's Tobacco and Vape Prevention program help you in your journey. They have the tools to help you reach your goal of being nicotine-free. Call them today at 740-286-5094, extension 2839, and good luck to all of our area teams this sports season.
Your home for Ironmen basketball. Mix 96 FM.
2 minutes, 32 seconds to go in this contest. Zane Trace holds the 16-11 lead. Ironman with the basketball. Garrett Legg with it out top to Ryan Simetz. Simetz throws it in the corner to Jax Carroll. We turn it around to Legg on the left wing. Stephen Jenkins drives the baseline. They stop him nicely defensively. There's Bodie Wooford. He has the 2 fouls. There's a nice drive by Simetz. His shot's up, no good. Rebound comes down to Robinson for Zane Trace. I'm really struggling offensively tonight. Robinson with the basketball. Go ahead.
And not getting any offensive rebounds. Robinson's been like a chimney sweep there on those boards.
Stewart with the basketball, picked up by Bodie Wooford. Bodie certainly doesn't want to pick up that 3rd foul if he can help it here in the last minute and 37 seconds to go first half. Robinson with the basketball, top of the key, kicks it over in the corner. That is Noah Houston. There's a nice move by McCullough inside, a little reverse layup. It's 18-11. Ryan Simetz with the basketball. We got a minute 15 to go. Sure would like to cut into this 7-point lead a little bit before halftime. Jenkins to Simetz. They get it to Garrett Legg. Mid-post, they get it to Jax Carroll in the middle of the lane. He lays it up and in. Nice cut by Jax Carroll. Good feed by Garrett Legg. The Ironmen get a bucket. They're down 5. We're under a minute to go. Landon Jarrell with the basketball. Now Stewart. Back out top. There's number 4, Houston. Came off the bench today and hits a 3 immediately. They're back to Robinson. They might play for a last shot. 18-13 is your score. We're at 30 seconds to go. Jarrell with the basketball. Stewart. They move it around the perimeter. Nice feed inside to McCullough. He kicks it out to Stewart. His long shot, no good. And there they are for an offensive rebound again. No good. Stephen Jenkins gets a defensive board for the Ironmen. 18 seconds to go. Simetz moving the ball quickly to Carroll. Carroll's three-point attempt from the corner, no good. Robinson with the rebound. Here comes Jarrell, pushing it quickly for Zane Trace. We're at 6 seconds. There's a steal by Jax Carroll. Jax with a couple seconds left takes it to the bucket. His shot's up and good. Jax Carroll comes up with the loose ball, takes it down the floor, has kind of a floating shot from about 5 or 6 feet. It hits the neck of the rim and goes in. And Pete Wilson, how bad did the Ironmen need that one?
They needed it. They needed it bad. Even though the Ironmen have honestly played, haven't been able to get anything going offensively, and they looked sluggish out there. To be down only 3 at halftime, playing that way against a team that's playing very well, at least that's a positive element.
Absolutely. Well, first quarter was 12-7. Zane Trace with the lead. The Ironmen do outscore Zane Trace 8-6 in the second quarter, but find themselves still down at halftime by a score of 18-15. We're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with first half statistics and information on this first half in just a couple minutes.
Brian Moore Construction specializes in turnkey construction, room additions, kitchen and bathroom remodels, as well as residential and commercial roofing. They also do silicone and acrylic roof coverings. Brian Moore Construction delivers quality craftsmanship on time, on budget, and according to specifications. Choose Brian Moore Construction for your next build, remodel, or roofing project. Call today for a free estimate. 740-418-6140.
Home, it's your sanctuary. It's pajamas at noon and cookies in the oven. It's fingerprints on the wall and heights measured in a doorway. It's the one place in the world that you know better than anyone else. Vinton County National Bank wants to help you build that messy, wonderful, cherished place where you can live a life you love for years to come. That's our promise. VCNB, here for you now, here for your future. Visit VCNBfamily.bank for our construction special. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Insurance may be the last thing on your mind, and that's okay because it's the first thing on ours every day. Let's be frank, whether we're talking about your home, vehicles, business, or life, the unexpected may happen. The bright side is you can depend on Schured Folks Insurance and Frankenmuth Insurance to provide the peace of mind you need. At Schured Folks Insurance, we believe the best relationships are honest, upfront, and fair. If you want to get frank about insurance, let's talk. Call Schured Folks Insurance today at 740-286-1708 or visit us on the web at SchuredInsurance.com. Go Ironman.
Paisley Permanent Cosmetics is an upscale, modern, permanent makeup studio and training center specializing in brows, eyeliner, and lip blush. Whether you're an experienced artist looking to take your skills and business to the next level or someone looking for a career change, we offer training for everyone. Sign up to learn all of Paisley's permanent makeup techniques and business tips. Paisley Permanent Cosmetics is located above Miguel Christian Salon at 117 Burlington Road in Jackson. Message us on Facebook or text 740-418-2024 today.
Good people bring good people.
At Buckeye Construction and Restoration, it's the foundation of our projects and our company. What started in a garage with 2 people and a dream now employs over 100 with offices locally in Wellston, Waterford, and Cincinnati. BCR offers competitive salaries, professional development opportunities, and an employee referral bonus program. Join one of the fastest growing companies in the Midwest by calling 833-775-1595 or visit bcrmco.com to apply. BCR, preserving our history with the hands of craftsmen.
If you want to make your smartphone even smarter, get our new mobile banking app. You can check deposits and deposit checks. It even gives you nearby ATM locations. Best part is, the money stays right here in this area. It's a better way to bank. Ohio Valley Bank, a better way to bank. Member FDIC. Visit us online at ovbc.com.
The Jackson County Health Department's Tobacco and Vape Prevention is an ongoing program providing help to both youth and adults in their efforts to quit smoking or vaping. Nicotine is addictive and is not only in tobacco products but also vaping products. Let the Jackson County Health Department's Tobacco and Vape Prevention program help you in your journey. They have the tools to help you reach your goal of being nicotine-free. Call them today at 740-286-5094, extension 2839, And good luck to all of our area teams this sports season.
Brian Moore Construction specializes in turnkey construction, room additions, kitchen and bathroom remodels, as well as residential and commercial roofing. They also do silicone and acrylic roof coverings. Brian Moore Construction delivers quality craftsmanship on time, on budget, and according to specifications. Choose Brian Moore Construction for your next build, remodel, or roofing project. Call today for a free estimate.
Jackson Ironman 15, a very low-scoring basketball game, and one
your
that the
home
Ironmen are
for
hoping, I think,
Ironman
to pick it up a little
basketball.
bit here in the
Mix
second half.
96
At
FM.
halftime, we honored our Jackson Youth Athletic League,
here
the
at Jackson
Saturday
High
League
School
that is up at
Gymnasium.
the
It
field
is
house.
Zane
The
Trace
boys were
Pioneers
honored
18.
tonight. The girls
Jackson
were honored
Ironman
at the last
15,
girls
a
game.
very low-scoring
About 40 of the
basketball
boys
game,
out
and
there on the
one that the
floor,
Ironmen
and
are
they
hoping,
were
I
honored
think, to pick it
what
up
a
a little
great
bit here in
program
the
that
second
is, and a
half.
big shout out,
At
especially
halftime,
we honored our Jackson Youth
Mr.
Athletic
Tyler
League, the
Schweitzer,
Saturday League that is up at the field house. The boys were honored tonight. Waylon Massey, the athletic director, they put a lot of time and effort on that program, along with the coaches, Chad Carpenter for the Iron Ladies and Coach Max Morrow for the Ironmen, and it is a benefit to all. That was nice. Jackson already out shooting warm-up shots. They have 4 minutes to go before this third quarter starts, Pete Wilson. I think they want to get a kickstart here and have a little better second half.
Jackson down as much as 7 in that second quarter before closing down what it is now, 3 points, 18-15. Feel a whole lot better about closing the gap down there, but Zane Trace playing very well, especially defensively. You know, we talk about Jackson being sluggish and not being able to hit their shots. I think those things are both true, but Zane Trace plays very good half-court offense. As you said, they're long and lean, and they cut off Ironman's penetration. They contest Ironman shots. Ironmen have been more content to take the outside three-point shot, and they haven't hit those. So, you know, that has hurt as well. So let's look at the overall stats now for the Ironmen with 15 points. They are led mainly by 2 players. Charlie Woodard with 7 points. Jax Carroll has 6 points. That's 13 of the 15 points. Stephen Jenkins has the other 2 points. For Zane Trace, they have 6 points from their big inside man, Gunnar McCullough, who's done some good, strong moves underneath. Also, Landon Robinson has 2 points. Landon Gerald, their point guard, has 5 points. And Noah Houston has come off the bench to hit three-pointer for 3 points. Overall, team-wise, the shooting stats about even, actually. Jackson is 7 out of 20 for 35%. Zane Trace cooled off in the second quarter. Didn't notice it that much because Jackson was having its own trouble getting its scoring going. They are 7 of 19 for the first half. 2 out of 2 from the foul line. Jackson's 1 of 1 from the foul line. Zane Trace 2 out of 11 on three-point shots, but Jackson 0 of 7. Both teams putting up some three-pointers. Zane Trace made a couple in the first quarter, none in the second quarter. Zane Trace with a big edge in rebounding, though, 14-8, and of course rebounding comes into play even more, you know, when teams are missing shots. There's a lot of extra opportunities there to get in transition if you're on defense, or to get a second shot if you're on offense. They are led by Landon Robinson with 6 rebounds. Charlie Woodard has 3 through Jackson. 5 turnovers through Zane Trace, only 3 through Jackson. And on the rebounds, Zane Trace got some good height and good jumpers, Dan, but rebounding sometimes also comes down to effort too.
No question about it, Pete Wilson. Nice job on statistics as always. Just numerous things the Ironmen have to do better. We've only given up 18 points. That would normally be acceptable if we had scored 30, but the Ironmen gave up, it seemed like, some backdoors and some opportunities there. They just didn't do quite as good a job on the defensive end of things, but only giving up 18 is okay. 15 points offensively, we have to do better than that. Now, I think it was a little thing about the first 2 times Bodie Woodford touched the ball, he gets called for an offensive charge call. Had to sit down quite a bit of that first half. Bodie is our top scorer usually in the paint, and that is one of the things, as you said, Jackson wasn't able to get to the rim very well, and not making their outside shots made it difficult to score many points. I'd like to see Bodie maybe be able to attack the rim a little better as he does so well.
Well, that would obviously be big. Bodie, one of those guys who can put the ball on the floor against any type of defense. You see a scene in there and then finish strongly, often scoring. And obviously with those 2 early fouls, his he has been on the bench more than he's been on the floor.
Well, I was glad he got back in there at the last minute or so, and he did not pick up a third foul. So with only 2 fouls, he can pretty much play his game normal. And let's see if the Ironmen do come out with, you know, would you say a little more energy and you know, spark. They almost look a little tired. Now, I know there's a little bit of flu bug going through the team. There is on both the girls and the boys team. Matter of fact, our head coach, Coach Morrow, has not felt well today at all. Charlie Woodard had been fighting it somewhat. That is going to be a factor, but it's that time of year, and you got to fight through that, especially when we get a couple of these nice days after the brutal cold weather. It tends to go through the school system quite a bit.
We understand there is a lot of absenteeism in the schools right now because of, it's just not the flu. There's stomach bugs and all sorts of things happening. But, you know, as you said, it's the winter time, and that's when we get a lot of sickness, it seems to be.
Jackson will open up with the first possession. They take it out on the side. Ryan Simetz hits the basketball. Zane Trace opens up in a 2-3 zone. Now they jump into the man-to-man. Bodie Wooford drives it down the lane, kicks it back out top to Charlie. Charlie Woodard with the basketball over to Ryan Simetz. Now it is man-to-man. At first they showed zone and jumped right into man. There's a drive to the baseline by Simetz. Back to Charlie out top. They turn it around here to Steven Jenkins. Garrett Legg. Trying to get some movement going offensively. There's Charlie in the lane. Charlie Woodard, and the ball is taken away from him. Landon Gerald strips Charlie as he's trying to make a move into the post. Zane Trace has the basketball. Gets it over to Robinson. Now to McCullough. McCullough is their post man. There's Gerald with a drive down the lane. His shot's up, no good. Ryer is McCullough again with the offensive rebound. His shot's no good. Gets his own rebound. Finally brought down by Steven Jenkins. Pete, that's why they're beating us on the boards numbers-wise. That one, they had a couple opportunities. Jenkins dribbles down the floor, stops at the elbow, buries the 17-footer. The Ironmen find themselves down by 1. 3 good looks at that shot by Zane Trace. They didn't cash in, and the Ironmen took advantage of it.
That has to be frustrating on their side.
There they get the ball inside the post to McCullough. It goes off his leg. Nice defense in the post by Steven Jenkins. Jackson now has an opportunity to get the lead.
And Coach Cassidy over there is going to try to rob Jackson of any aroma of momentum by taking a timeout.
It's a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. Jackson needed a better start here in this third quarter. Now they have an opportunity. Jenkins with the 17-foot jump shot has got us within 1, and we have the basketball back. Nice crowd on hand again here for a midweek game. We had a huge crowd on Friday night, Pete.
It was the biggest crowd of the year as far as I'm concerned.
No question about it.
Especially on the home side. Hillsboro was well represented as well.
Jackson Ironmen's basketball will be back on the air tomorrow night as Washington Courthouse comes to town. Coach Chad Carpenter and his Iron Ladies trying to pick up another win in the Frontier Athletic Conference after they defeated Chillicothe last Saturday. Jackson with the basketball. Jenkins here on the left wing gets it into Bodie Wooford in the post. He goes up strong as he normally does, draws the foul, didn't make the bucket, but he'll get 2 free throws.
Well, they got the matchup they wanted there with Bodie having about a 3 or 4 inch height advantage on Landon Gerald, and he did get the foul out of it.
Bodie Wooford, a bit of a matchup nightmare, especially in the lane. His free throw is up and good. Eyes the score at 18. Yes, we're in the third quarter, and it's only 18-18. Low-scoring affair here at Jackson High School tonight. Second free throw is good. The Ironmen have the lead. 19-18, a minute and a half into this third quarter. Robinson with the basketball, picked up by Wooford up top. They get it over the wing to Gerald. And then they turn it down in the corner to Stewart. There's a wide open McCullough. I don't know how he would have been misguarded there, but easy lay-in, and the lead goes back to Zane Trace. One of their key players, you have to find him. Ryan Simetz with the basketball. Now it is Zane Trace in a 2-3 zone. Tried to pass the ball into the post to Charlie Woodard. It is deflected into the hands of Rippeth. Long jump shot, no good. Long rebound comes down to Robinson. There's Stewart. His three is good. 5 quick points by Zane Trace. They get the lead back to 23-19. 2-3 zone for Zane Trace. Simets up top, turn it over to Jenkins. Back to Simets. He goes in the middle of the lane, kicks it back to Bodie Wooford. Bodie drives the baseline. His jump shot's up, bounces around, and goes in. See if Bodie can give us a little spark here. Here's Stewart quickly for Zane Trace. He's into the lane. Fall away jump shot, no good. Rebound to Stephen Jenkins. Jackson down by 2, 23-21. Jenkins to the foul line, back to Simets. There's Wooford again on the right corner. Trying to post Bodie up. Top of the key, Charlie Woodard. His three is good and gives the Ironman the lead again. 24-23. Charlie now in double figures with 10. Robinson. Back to Stewart. Back to Robinson. More of a passer. There's McCullough. Good post player for them. Here's Gerald. Wants to split 2 defenders. They stop him. Get it back to Robinson. Long 3 attempt. Boy, high arching 3 is good. 26-24. Zane Trace with the lead. 4 minutes, 11 seconds here in the third quarter. Ironman finds themselves down by 2. Substitution on the floor, Judah Hanks, 5'10" senior. He'll give Landon Jarrell a breather. Here comes the Ironman. Simets with the basketball, dribbles over to the right wing, throws it back to Jenkins here to the left side, over to Garrett Legg. Long 3 attempt from the corner is good. Legg hits a 3. Both teams with some threes here in the third quarter. 27-26, Jackson lead back to 1. Hanks with the basketball, but it gets it out top to Robinson. Now to Rippeth. Rippeth on the left wing wants to drive the baseline. Stephen Jenkins cuts him off. He becomes a passer, kicks it out top to Houston. Now to Hanks. Oh, Bodie Wooford's going to get called on a foul way away from the basketball, and that is his third. Pete, that one hurts.
He's probably going to have to come out. He is.
Jax Carroll will replace Bodie. Bodie with 3 fouls. Picked up 4 quick points here in the third quarter, but he'll have to sit for a while now. Probably want him to at least get to the fourth quarter. Zane Trace takes it out on their baseline. First foul for the Ironman. There's a nice cut down the line by Jarrell. He is fouled. Shot doesn't go, but he'll get 2 free throws out of it.
Ironman have been beat on some of those inbounds plays,
yes,
like that.
And some backdoors just off the half-court offense.
Right, lucky that he didn't make that as well as get the foul.
Landon Jarrell, the 5'8" senior. Free throw is up and good. He now has 6. Ties the game at 27-27. 6'3" and Noah Grady Stewart back on the floor for Zane Trace. Second free throw by Jarrell is good. Lead back. So lead has gone back and forth here in the third quarter. Zane Trace with the 1-point lead. 3 minutes, 17 seconds to go, third quarter. Garrett Legg with the basketball. Outside, gets it inside to Charlie, kicks it back to Stephen Jenkins. His 3 is no good. Charlie fights for the offensive board, but ends up in the hands of Jarrell. Here comes Zane Trace. Stewart with the basketball, drives the baseline, and that should be an offensive foul, and it is. Nice job defensively by Stephen Jenkins to get position and make the charge. Stewart put his shoulder down and went straight to the bucket. Stevens stood in there, got the charge. Jackson adds the basketball, finds themselves down by 1. Jax Carroll with the ball, right wing. Back to Simets. Simets to the elbow. His jump shot's up, goes halfway in and out. Rebound comes down to Houston. Quickly gets it to Stewart. Back to Jarrell. They get it inside to McCullough. They love to get to him in the lane. There's Stewart with the drive down the lane. They're going to blow whistle, and it's going to be a foul against the Ironmen. Could have been on any of about 3 players. I think it's going to go on Charlie Woodard. Be Charlie's second, team third. 6'2" senior Robinson, Landon Robinson, reports back in. Inbounds from Gerald. Kicks it out top to Stewart. Turn it back over to Gerald. Back to Stewart. Stewart's long 3 attempt looks good, and it is. It released nicely, and it goes straight in. 31-27. The lead is back to 4 points.
Zane Trace hitting those 3-pointers here in the third quarter.
Charlie Woodard with the ball on the right wing. Back to Jenkins, turns it back to Simon. Long 3 attempt off the rim. Long rebound's going to come down and out of bounds, and it will be Zane Trace basketball. Judah Hanks reports in for Zane Trace. He'll replace Noah Houston. Trace now with the 4-point lead. 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. They have the basketball. Back to Stewart. Stewart just buried that 3. Now back to Gerald. Gerald drives to the lane, kicks it in the corner to Hanks. They kick it back out top. They can be patient now offensively. They have the 4-point lead and the basketball. Gerald, long 3 is good, and wow, are they red hot. Timeout is going to be called by Jackson. Score stands 34-27. Zane Trace with the lead. 1:34 to go third quarter. We'll take a timeout, be back with more Jackson Ironman basketball right here on 96.7. Pete, third quarter started out kind of nice for the Iron. But boy, as Zane Trace answered and started knocking down, it seems like a lot of 3s.
4 of them in the third quarter so far, and you know you get 1 extra point when you get those on a field goal. And so that's made a difference. They've built their lead to 7 now. 3 different players hitting those 4 3-pointers, 2 of them by Stewart, 1 by Gerald, and 1 by Robson.
Jackson with basketball after the timeout. They still have 3 timeouts left, as does Zane Trace. Jax Carroll with the basketball on the right wing. Back to Bodie Wolford. Bodie playing with 3 fouls. Long 3 by Jax Carroll off the front of the rim, as so many have been tonight. Into the hands of Stewart for Zane Trace. Down in the corner is Hanks. Kicks it out top to Robinson. Zane Trace running the motion offense. There's Stewart, drives down the lane, kicks it in the corner, out top to Hanks, back to Houston. He buries the 3. It's their 5th 3 here in the third quarter, and now the biggest lead of the night is 37-27. Zane Trace by 10. Simets to Jenkins. Jenkins here on the wing. Back to Jax Carroll. Down the corner to Bodie Wolford. Bodie drives the lane, goes up strong. His shot's no good. Good drive to the bucket by Bodie. Didn't get the finish. Zane Trace with the basketball. 30 seconds to go, third quarter. You would think they want to take the last shot. They kick it in the corner. There's a long 3 attempt by Houston. He buries that. They didn't need the last shot. They are red hot. 40-27. Zane Trace with the lead. 12 seconds. Jackson could use 1 to finish this third quarter. Simets to the free throw line. There's a Jax Carroll. Gets to Charlie Woodard. He goes up strong in the lane, and he is fouled with 2 seconds to go. He'll be at the free throw line with 2 free throws. Trying to cut into this 13-point third quarter lead. First free throw by Charlie is good. 40-28. One more free throw. 2 seconds to go here in the third is good. 40-29. 2 seconds. 1 second. Long shot from about 3/4 court. It wouldn't have shocked me if it went in. It did not. 3/4 in the books. It is Zane Trace 40, the Jackson Ironmen 29. Jackson Ironmen basketball back here on Total Media Radio 96.7. Unbelievable shooting by Zane Trace in that 3rd quarter, Pete.
They end up with six three-pointers in that 3rd quarter to give them 8 for the game. And I think they were about 6 of 8 aim-wise.
Wow. 25-point 3rd quarter. Zane Trace have opened up an 11-point lead. Now Jackson's going to be chasing defensively. They've spread it out offensively. Robinson with the basketball. Zane has the first possession. Gets it back to Gerald. Gerald picked up by Simets. It's a screen up top. Ironman step through it. Zane Trace might be content to be very patient offensively. They can eat some of this clock. Back to Robinson. He's picked up by Bodie Wooford. To McCullough. This is all outside of the 3-point line. Now they get it to McCullough. He's a little inside the arc. They kick it back out top. Noah Houston. Ball bobbled, knocked out of bounds, but it is Zane Trace basketball. Zane Trace ran nearly 1 minute off the clock with that first possession. Grady Stewart will report back on the floor for them.
I think they're going to be, could be wrong, I think they're going to be very selective with their shots right now while they have this 11-point lead.
Inbounds pass. Comes to McCullough. He is going to be fouled by Stephen Jenkins. First team foul for the Ironmen. Stephen now with 2 fouls. Charlie Woodard 2 fouls. Jax Carroll 2 fouls. Bodie Wooford 3 fouls. Getting late enough in the game, though, you're going to have to worry about that. Ironmen are going to have to chase after him defensively here. Gerald gets the ball in bounds out near the midcourt line. Picked up by Simets. Ryan working him, but he gets over on the wing to Stewart. Ironmen are going to try to play some passing lanes. There's a long 3 attempt, no good, but the rebound comes down to McCullough. He tips it over to Stewart. Ball is going to be, oh my gosh, what are they going to call? Offensive rebound by Stewart. He's going to be fouled by Ryan Simets, and they're going to give him 2 free throws. Coach Marr pleading the case. He does not think Stewart was in a shooting mode there. Foul's going to go to Charlie Woodard. Did not see that one, actually. Free throw by Stewart bounces around, no good. Score still stands 40-29, 6:45 to go here, 4th quarter. Second free throw off the front of the rim, no good. Offensive rebound by Robinson. Zane Trace gets another look. Jarrell with the basketball, kicks it out top to Stewart. Those hurt Pete Wilson when they can run more offense like that. McCullough with the ball, knocked out of his hands by Bodie Wooford, into the hands of Stephen Jenkins. Here comes Jenkins down the lane. Top of the key, over to Simets. Throws it across to Charlie Woodard in the corner. Jax Carroll, his 3 is good. Cuts into that lead. It's now 40-32. Carroll with 9 points for the Ironmen. Jackson needs a couple more of those possessions. McCullough with the basketball. Robinson out top. They turn it over to Gerald. They're trying to post up McCullough. He's being guarded in the post by Steven Jenkins. Jenkins is going to foul him, and that will be Steven's third foul. Ironman quickly with 3 fouls here in the fourth quarter. No fouls yet for Zane Trace. 40-32 is your Zane Trace score and lead. Inbounds to Jarrell. He's their point guard. He drives the foul line. A floater in the lane, hits the front of the rim, hangs on it, and rolls in. The lead is back to 10. Bodie Wooford with the basketball. To Simets. His jump shot from 15 feet is good. 42-34. 5:42 to go. There's still enough time. But the Ironmen need to play flawless basketball. It's a 30-second timeout by Zane Trace. We'll keep it right here. 4:39 to go. The Ironmen find themselves down by a score of 52-34, Pete.
Right, down by 8. As you said, 5:39 to go. There is plenty of time, but the Ironmen have to play really good defense, hope for a steal. I know they don't want to unnecessarily foul, but that's what it'll come down to if they're not able to cut, 4 points off this lead in the next 2 minutes probably. And looks like Zane Trace, Dan, they've been red hot shooters, and it looks like they're pretty good handling the ball too.
No doubt about it. They're 15-3 for a reason. They'll have the basketball. They'll take it out underneath the Ironman basket. Jackson's going to come out with a little bit of, looks like they're extending the defense somewhat. Now they drop back, man-to-man defense. Jarrell with the basketball. Hadn't got it to midcourt yet. There he crosses midcourt. Picked up on the wing by Rippeth. Now Stewart up top. Back to Jarrell. They have pretty good offensive movement today. McCullough in the post area. Robinson back to Stewart. Looks like they're really trying to fight the ball to get it inside of the post. Jackson thought that was an out-of-bounds situation, did not get the call. Jarrell with the basketball, splits the defenders, kicks it in the corner. There is Rippeth, drives the baseline, and there's another foul on Steven Jenkins. Should not be of the shooting variety, even though it was Rippeth driving the baseline, and they're giving him 2. 4 fouls now on Steven Jenkins. 5 minutes exactly. First free throw by Rippeth. Bounces around, no good. Jackson down by 8. Garrett Legg comes on to replace Jenkins. He comes out with 4 fouls. One more free throw coming for Ezra Rippeth, the senior guard. Free throw is good. 43-34. Substitute on the floor will be Judah Hanks for Rippeth. Exactly 5 minutes to go in this contest. Simets with the basketball. Drives the baseline. Kicks it back to, there is Jax Carroll. His shot's up off the front of the rim. No good. Rebound comes down to Robinson, to Stewart. They're running down the court now. Stewart with the basketball inside the circle. Back to Robinson. Kicks it out top. Nice pass inside to McCullough, and Zane Trace playing some excellent basketball, sharing it. They score the bucket. It's now 45-34. Carroll with the basketball to Simets. Simets kicks it up top to Charlie Woodard. Long attempt by Charlie is good. Charlie has led the Ironmen all night in scoring. He now has 15. The Ironmen now are back within 7. 45-37. Sorry, Pete, that makes 8. Stewart with the basketball. He's here on the right wing, guarded by Woodard. Goes out top. Stewart down the corner, gets it back to Robinson, turns it over to Houston. Long 3 attempt. He's been red hot. Houston hits another one. He now has 12. I think, are they all 3-pointers, Pete?
Yes, sir.
4 of them. Wooford with the basketball at the foul line, down the lane, goes up strong. Shot won't go, but he gets fouled. He'll have 2 free throws. 48-37. 37. The lead is back to 11. 3:34 to go here in the fourth quarter. Stephen Jenkins will report back in. He has 4 fouls. Free throw by Bodie is good. 10-point lead now by Zane Trace. Who replaced Garrett Legg. 5 juniors on the floor for Coach Max Morrow. Bodie has 1 more free throw. Second free throw bounces around, goes in, and a timeout is on the floor. It will be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. 3:34 to go in the contest. It has been Zane Trace from the very start. They won the first quarter by a score of 12-7. Ironman actually won the second quarter, but found themselves down by a score of 18-15 at halftime. But an unbelievable shooting third quarter by Zane Trace. They outscore the Ironmen 25-11 to take a 40-29 point lead. And they've just been, Ironmen have been on the chase ever since and trying to cut into this lead, Pete.
Well, I tell you what, just you got to hand it to Zane Trace on the other side of the equation. They have just played so well, and they have solved the Ironmen's defense not only by getting the three-point shots. A lot of them have been wide open, but then also, you know, the backdoor cuts, that sort of thing. They're getting open shots that way too, and I know it's something that Coach Morrow probably not too pleased with.
Nope, he's going to extend the pressure a little bit. Zane Trace gets it in, guarded closely here by Stephen Jenkins on Stewart. Stewart pushes it past midcourt, down in the corner to Gerald. Gerald picks up his dribble, nice backdoor cut to Robinson, then he lays it over to McCullough. He lays it up and in, and once again, it's there. They're able to penetrate the lane, kick it to the backside. McCullough gets the easy 2. The lead is back to 11. Simets to Jenkins, long 3 attempt. High archer is good, buries the 3, gets the Ironman within 8. We're going to need a handful more of those to get back in this game. Gerald with the basketball, gets across midcourt. And whistle is blown, and I think they're going to allow, is it McCullough lost a shoe? It'll be Zane Trace basketball on the side. They should just stop play for long enough for him to get the shoe on. And I did, what was that, Pete?
Gerald pushed off Ryan Simets very clearly, right in front of the official.
Well, they caught it. That's his 3rd foul, team 2nd. Ironman with 4 fouls, so Zane Trace will shoot free throws the rest of the way here in the fourth quarter. 2:55 to go. Jackson down 8. They have the basketball. Can they cut into this lead? Nice drive by Simets, lays it up, and it is fouled. Gets the bucket to go. We'll get 1 more free throw. Coach Morrow going to his bench a little bit. Dayton Counter will come into the lineup. Defensive purposes, one of the quickest of the Ironmen, getting Stephen Jenkins, who has 4 fouls, out. Ryan Simets will have 1 more free throw. 50-44. Free throw no good. Charlie Woodard with the offensive board. Back to Simets. Long 3 off the rim. High rebound comes down to McCall. And a foul will be called, I think, on Dayton Counter. Let's see if that's who they blew it on. Call with the defensive rebound. He will take the long walk. He'll be shooting 2 free throws. It was called on Dayton Counter. Men are going to play a little offense for defense. Stephen Jenkins will report back in after the first free throw.
McCullough is 2 out of 2 from the foul line tonight.
He has 12 points in the contest. First free throw no good. Jenkins back. He'll replace Dayton. 1 more free throw coming to Gunnar McCullough, the junior, 6'2" junior. Second free throw no good. Long rebound comes down to Bodie Woodford. Ironmen have an opportunity here. Let's see if they can cut into this 6-point lead. Jax Carroll with the basketball. Charlie Woodard top the key over to Bodie. Bodie on the wing. Back to Ryan Simets. Simets into the lane, kicks it to Charlie Woodard. Long three attempt is good. The Ironmen hit another three. 50-47, 2:19 to go here in the fourth quarter. 18 points of the night for Charlie Woodard. Gerald with the basketball. Crowd coming alive here. Ironmen within three, haven't been there for a while. Gerald with the basketball, foul line. Throws it in the corner to Stewart. They find McCullough inside. His shot's no good, but he is fouled. He'll be back at the free throw line, although he just missed 2 free throws. Foul will go against Jax Carroll, his third. Free throw for McCullough. Bounces around and no good. He's missed 3 in a row. 1:59 to go. Fourth quarter. Jackson with 2 timeouts left. Zane Trace with 2 timeouts. Second free throw is good. Lead is now 4. Simon with the basketball, pushes it up past midcourt, over to Stephen Jenkins. Back to Charlie Woodard. Now to Bodie Woodford. Bodie in the lane, passes it to Charlie. He lays it up. Oh, they finally do call foul. Charlie with a strong move to the bucket. Did not make it, was knocked to the ground, and they whistle the foul. He'll get 2 free throws. Good pass there by Stephen Jenkins on the cutting. I'm sorry, Bodie Woodford on the pass to cutting Charlie Woodard down the lane. 51-47. Zane Trace with the 4-point lead. Ironmen have came alive here in the fourth quarter. Charlie wants to dry his hands off. Throws the towel back to the sideline. Bodies flew, so they're cleaning up perspiration on the court. Charlie, 2 free throws coming. First free throw is in and out. Peyton Counter back on the floor. He'll replace Stephen Jenkins. Jenkins with the 4 fouls once again. Counter in there for defensive purposes. Charlie gets 1 more. Second free throw is good. Ironman down 3. Zane Trace with the basketball to Gerald. He's going to be pressured there by Ryan Simets. Crosses over inside the layout on the right wing now. Pulls it back out. They want to spread things out. Gerald with the drive down the lane. And he's going to get called for a travel. Good defense by Woodard. Stephen Jenkins quickly comes to the scorer's table. Peyton Counter comes out. 1:33 to go. Ironman down by 3. Student section, Pete, behind the Ironman bench, finally having some fun, getting to make some noise.
Right. A little bit helps over there.
It's been a fight tonight for the Ironman offensively.
Ironman giving them something to shout about right now.
Simets with the basketball. Over to Bodie Woodford. Gives it to Simets in the right wing, right in front of the Jackson bench. Drives the baseline. Kicks it back to Bodie. Over to Stephen Jenkins. Thought about a 3. Kicks in the corner to Charlie Woodard. Charlie drives into the lane. Back to Jax Carroll. Gives it to Charlie Woodard. He lays it up and in. Timeout trying to be called by Coach Morrow, and they don't seem. Jackson down by 1. Stewart with the basketball. Under a minute to go. They get it to McCullough in the lane. Kicks it back out to Stewart. Ironman eventually will be forced to foul if they can't get the turnover. There's a double team. Gets it back to Hanks. Now to McCullough in the corner, down the baseline. The drive, the ball on the floor. And it's a timeout is going to be called by Zane Trace. Ironman had an opportunity. They have the possession arrow, just couldn't dive on that loose ball in time to get the jump ball situation. It'll be Zane Trace basketball. 38 seconds to go in this contest. 51-50. Zane Trace with the lead and the basketball. Zane Trace down to 1 timeout. Ironman do both teams in a bonus situation. Pete, I didn't exactly see this coming, but it's been a nice spurt by the Ironman to get back in this contest.
No, the way it was going in the early fourth quarter into the mid fourth quarter, it just looked like there's going to be, it's kind of like just chalk it up to one of those games where it's not a good one, but Ironmen have got themselves with a chance here to really pull out an amazing comeback victory. It'll be interesting to see with Zane Trace having the possession. Jackson would put Zane Trace at the line for two foul shots, which they may have to do. How long will Coach Morrow let that go before he wants the foul?
Well, the problem is you have to take Stephen Jenkins out, who has 4 fouls, so you don't want him fouling out on this possession. But if we can get a turnover or a steal, we don't have Stephen in there for the offense. But as we said, Coach Morrow has 2 timeouts left. Depends how he wants to use them. Ironman break the huddle. Dayton Counter will join Bodie Wooford, Ryan Simets, Charlie Woodard, who has been red hot in this game. He has 21 points and leads the Ironman, and Jax Carroll. Robinson for Zane Trace will trigger it in. 38 seconds to go in this one. And the whistle blows, but I think they're going to call a foul on Ryan Simets. Let's see what they call. Simets was jostling with McCullough in the lane. Both bodies went to the ground. Or no, it's going to be a timeout by Zane Trace, Pete Wilson. That is going to be their final timeout.
I think Coach Morrow lobbying with one of the officials. He thought maybe the foul was on McCullough.
Well, McCullough, he's saying that he wrapped Simets up with an elbow. Both bodies went down. Whistle blew, but it was Zane Trace calling a timeout because the Ironmen did a pretty good job defensively there. They didn't see an inbounds pass right away. But the big thing now, Zane Trace has no more timeouts. The Ironmen have 2. Both teams are in the bonus. 51-50 is your score. Zane Trace with the lead. Jackson trying to pick up their 14th win on the season. Zane Trace trying to pick up their 16th. Both teams fighting at this point of the season for those very important seeds of the tournament. Tournament brackets will come out on Sunday.
Zane Trace, one division down, Division 5. I believe they're in the 5th spot right now, so this would be a big lift for them, a win over the Ironmen.
Zane Trace will trigger it. It'll be Gerald triggering this time for Zane Trace. Inbounds pass. They get it inbounds to McCullough. And there's a jump ball, and it's Jackson possession arrow. Bodie Wooford ties up McCullough. We get the jump ball. Possession arrow Ironman. Stephen Jenkins immediately reports in. And the Ironmen actually can be playing for a possession with the lead. 51-50. 36 seconds.
Well, I think they'll take a good shot, but it wouldn't be bad to take the last one either.
Charlie Woodard's been the leading scorer for tonight for the Ironmen. Let's see what they come up with. Jax Carroll with the basketball. Over to Simets on the right wing in front of the Jackson bench. To the foul line. Back to Carroll. Long 3 attempt is up off the front of the rim. Wooford fighting for the rebound. Comes in the hands of McCullough. McCullough to Stewart, and having to be fouled immediately by Ryan Simets. Let's see what the officials decide. Ryan was forced to foul out here on the side. Not going to call it intentional, no. It'll just be a 2-shot situation by Stewart. Ironman had a good look at the bucket. Shot did not go. Looked like for a second Bodie might have a shot at the offensive board. Couldn't get it. Stewart's free throw bounces around and goes in, and Coach Morrow's going to use one of his 2 timeouts. 13.5 seconds to go in the contest. Zane Trace 52, the Ironman 50. We're going to take one more timeout. We'll be back with more Jackson Ironman basketball right here on 96.7. Stewart at the line. Zane Trace up by 2. His free throw bounces around for a second time and goes in. Jackson down by 3, 13 seconds. They still have one more timeout. Simons with the basketball. Long 3 from the corner, no good. Rebound comes down to Stewart, and that might be enough. Stewart, 6'3" wing player, gets the rebound. We have to foul him immediately. He just hit the 2 free throws. That'll be the 5th foul for Stephen Jenkins. He does foul out. 4.7 seconds left. The Ironmen will need 2 misses here to keep the game alive. Garrett Legg will replace Stephen Jenkins. 50-50. Zane Trace with the lead. Grady Stewart at the line, 6'3" junior. First free throw bounces around for the 3rd straight time. Hits the front of the rim, the bank board, and goes in. Lead is now 4. It would take something very strange here to happen for the Ironmen now. Second free throw off the rim, no good. Rebound comes back to Stewart, and they'll let the clock run out. Ironmen fall to tonight by a score of 54-50. Zane Trace comes into Jackson and certainly plays a very impressive game. And they come away with a big win for Zane Trace. As you said, Pete Wilson, they're fighting for position to in the tournament. This one was a costly one for the Ironmen. Jackson falls to 13-5 on the season. Once again, their losses have come to very good basketball teams, but this one is painful when you lose to one at home.
Yep, it certainly was. The Ironmen didn't give up. It wasn't their night to be sure, but when it looked like there was no way they could make a comeback, they did put themselves in position to have a chance. Just didn't happen at the end, and I guess you need to give Zane Trace credit again for that.
Oh, you absolutely have to. Zane Trace came here, played probably, I would have to say, if their coach would tell you, it has to be one of their best games of the season. Ironman finally got it going in that 4th quarter and cut into, I forget was the biggest lead 13, Pete? If my memory serves right, but they cut it down to 1.
13, yes.
And had an opportunity, but just couldn't quite get over the hump tonight. Well, we have plenty of post-game still going on. Pete Wilson will give you stats. We normally get a chance to talk with Coach Max Morrow. As we said, he was battling a flu bug tonight. We'll see if he makes it back up. But your final score tonight is Zane Trace Pioneers 54, our Jackson Ironmen 50. We'll be back with more post-game activities right after these commercials from our sponsors. Back here at Jackson High School Gymnasium, and it was a exciting basketball game tonight, but one that didn't come out in favor for our Jackson Ironmen as they go down to defeat by Zane Trace Pioneers by a score of 54-50. Coach Morrow, tough night on the court tonight. I know it's not an easy one. We just didn't got off, started poorly. We had a little run there at the end, but Zane Trace plays every time they seem to need him.
Well, they wanted to win, and we did not tonight. There's no easy way to put it. We were not ready to play. We didn't have great energy. We didn't have good effort, and we just thought we could walk out on the floor and win, and we cannot do that.
No, we do not do that well on there. Found ourselves down early on, and then halftime kind of fought our way back to being down 3, but second quarter, Zane Trace, what did Pete have? I think they hit 6 threes on us, and obviously first thing you would say is we got to be pressure up on them because they can shoot the basketball.
Yeah, it goes back to us. Our defense was terrible tonight. We had no rotation. We had no energy, no anxiety. Just understanding who the shooters were in the scouting report and executing it, pressing up on them because they weren't great finishers to go around you at the rim. They were always going to dump off the 24 when they did that. So we didn't execute and do the things we were supposed to do tonight, and it come back and bite us.
You mentioned 24, Gunnar McCullough. Played very well against us last year. He's a solid player for them.
Yeah, he's a good player. But really nobody on their team is anybody that we shouldn't be able to guard, and we just didn't decide to do that tonight.
Ball game Friday night. We head to Washington Courthouse. It'll be our final FAC game of the year, and I know it's one you want to see us bounce back on.
Oh, we better. We're not going to be playing the best basketball, obviously, whatever it was tonight, but things got to change tomorrow at practice. We did not come out with any energy. Our defense, we're always pride ourselves with defense, and we had none of that tonight. So we got to get back to the little things at practice, and hopefully we'll give a better effort on Friday.
I think we will. Coach, best of luck. We will see you. Well, we'll see you Friday night. We'll be back on the air with the Waverly Tigers coming to town on Saturday night.
Thank you. Coach
Max Morrow as his Jackson Ironmen fall to defeat by a score of 54-50 tonight. As we mentioned, this is a very big game as far as for seeding in the tournament, which will take place Sunday afternoon. All the points will be collected after the games Friday night, and Jackson will find out what their fate is Sunday afternoon as far as their seed. They were sitting at the number 2 seed coming into tonight, but this loss will hurt. Meigs is the number 1 seed. Nobody's going to catch them. We were at number 2. Unioto is number 3 seed. New Lexington, the 4 seed. The way the brackets are set up, if you have the 1 or a 2 seed, you get a bye all the way to Richmond-Dale Southeastern's Gymnasium, where everybody else will have to play a game to get you. Jackson, if they stayed at the number 2, would play the winner of the 7 and the 10 seed. But now we'll just have to wait and see what our fate is. And obviously our fate's going to depend on the fact is whether we can travel to Washington Courthouse and come away with a win on the road. Pete Wilson is still working on stats, so we're going to take a 1-minute timeout. We'll be back with more post-game activities right here on 96.7, the voice of your Jackson Ironmen. Both the Iron Ladies and the Ironmen have Washington Courthouse in their near future. Tomorrow night, the Blue Lions, the Lady Blue Lions from Washington Courthouse, come here to Jackson and take on Coach Chad Carpenter's Jackson Iron Ladies. It's a Frontier Athletic Conference game, so it's always a big one, but a little bit bigger on the forefront is the fact it is senior night. Ella Armstrong will be honored tomorrow night, the lone senior on the Jackson Iron Lady basketball team. We will be right there with that broadcast. Pete Wilson, you still working on numbers?
We got them.
You got them. Let's turn it over. Rough night tonight for our Jackson Ironmen. Come up on the short end of a 54-50 score.
Again, the Zane Trace Pioneers get chased by the Ironmen pretty hard in the fourth quarter, but then they survive at the end by making the plays they needed to make. They defeat the Ironmen 54-50, a little bit. I can think you'd call it a mild upset here at Jackson for sure, even though we told everybody at the front of the broadcast Miami Trace is 15-3 this year. All their 3 losses have come against top-notch teams. The Ironmen now go to 13-5 overall. All right, first for Miami Trace, they had balanced scoring. They are led by Gunnar McCullough with 13 points. Noah Houston with 12 points on 4 3-pointers. Brandon Gerald, 10 points. Grady Stewart, 10 points. Landon Robinson, 5 points. And Ezra Repeth, 3 points. For the Ironmen, Charlie Woodard had an outstanding game. One guy who shot very well and kind of was the guy who helped lead Jackson back into contention with his scoring in the second half. 21 points for Charlie tonight. 14 of those in the second half. Stephen Jenkins had 7 points, Garrett Legg 3, Ryan Simons 4, Bodie Wolford 6, and Jax Carroll with 9, so nobody else double figures other than Charlie. Team stats show us something. Miami Trace 17 out of 38 in the field. That's about 44%. 9 of 19 from three-point land. 9 of 19, about 47%. 8 of 9 in the second half.
Well, it was the second half shooting by Miami Trace was the difference in this one. Close game at halftime, even though we felt we hadn't played very well, but they shot the lights out, especially in that third quarter.
Right, and I know that this is a small consolation, but there was a time where they went up 13, where they hit some three-pointers, and when it looked like Jackson started to come back and thought, oh no, 13-point lead midway through the fourth quarter. Jackson did not quit, didn't win, not their best overall performance, but they did not quit. They gave themselves a chance. Zane Trace was 10 of 16 from the foul line. Jackson, 18 out of 40 from the field for 45%, 6 of 21 from three-point land. And that stat tells you something there. I know they had to come back and shoot some extra three-pointers, but they took more three-pointers tonight because they weren't doing their dribble drive to the bucket. Give Zane Trace defense credit, but also Coach Morrow feels the Ironmen didn't play with sufficient effort, and that's one of the hallmarks of their offense, their dribble drive to the basket.
Maybe, Pete, if we learn something tonight, we can't wait till we get down to the last 4 minutes to pick up the intensity, and we did make a great comeback. And as we said, we're only down 51-50 from that point, but it was able to have, Zane Trace was able to make some free throws down the stretch, and we had a couple looks but just couldn't make a shot once we got within one.
Jackson was 8 out of 10 from the foul. And here is another one of those effort stats, I think, because the team's about the same size. Zane Trace 26 rebounds, Jackson 12 rebounds. Some of that was because Zane Trace didn't miss a lot of shots in the second half, but it seemed like Zane Trace was getting the rebounds, the offensive, the bounce rebounds, the long rebounds, and that certainly added up in a 4-point victory.
Boy, it does. That's, you can't overcome that stat hardly.
A lot of defensive rebounds for Zane Trace when Jackson, just couldn't get the ball to go down. McCullough had 10 rebounds to be the game's leading rebounder. Robinson had 7. Woodard and Jenkins each had 4 through Jackson. The Ironmen only made 5 turnovers, so that wasn't the problem. Zane Trace had 11 turnovers.
Well, thank you, Pete Wilson, for the stats. Remember, we're back on the air again tomorrow night as the Jackson Iron Ladies will host the Washington Courthouse Lady Blue Lions come to town. It is senior night. It is Ella Armstrong. She will be honored in the pregame, and with a little luck, we'll get a talk to her in the postgame. So for Wyatt here as our board op, for Pete Wilson, the best stat man this side of the Mississippi, good night, everybody. This is Dan Morrow. We'll be back at you tomorrow night.